Hi everyone, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. I am so glad you joined us in for our mystery quilt. We are having so much fun. We made block 1 and 2 and today it's time for block number 3. You're going to be making 16 of them. Oh, I am so excited for you. I know now you are a pro with cutting strips and cutting from the strips. And guess what? We're gonna rely on some of the skills that we have applied yesterday to cut today. If you're just joining us in, do not worry, you're not too late. You can join anytime. This program is free to everyone that wanted to do this quilt. This is just fun quilt along. It's a brand new project, and for next 12 days we are revealing little clues about a beautiful quilt, and you can join us anytime you want to. Go to our website where you can find our blog, and you can find the blog 1 and 2 as well as our housekeeping blog that tells you all the details. What do you need to join us in? We're working with a beautiful bundle. This bundle is from a Bluebird collection. If the bundle sold out, we still have few of the half yards and fat eighths. You need a fat quarter bundle to make this quilt. So if you're getting fat eighths, you're gonna need at least 2 of them to be able to do it, our quilt, okay? So join us in, visit our blog for all the details. I am super excited. We have lots of fun work ahead. We're making 16 block number 3. Those are the fabrics that we chose for today. You have a darker blue, medium blue, and light blue. You can also jump and use some of those fabrics from your stash. Just pay attention to the color shading so that way your quilt looks really nice. So right there, you have a dark, medium, and a light. From this, I'm gonna press my fabrics with best press. From the fabric, you know the routine. I'm gonna be cutting strips, and I'm going to be cutting 2 of those strips, 2 of those dark strips, and 4 of the medium blue. So 2, 2, and a 4. As soon as you finish cutting, you can go ahead and layer your fabric. And I layer 4 fabrics at once. And how I layer my fabric, I know that for one block, I'm going to need 2 pieces cut from this fabric. So I put 2 strips, one on the top of the other, look at just like this. Then I know that I'm gonna be using one of those strips. Let me place this one too, and one of those. So I'm gonna place this and one of those pieces. All right, so now I have 4 pieces, one on the top of the other. And what's so fun that with one cut, I have everything I need for one block. And we're using our templates as well as we're using ruler to cut. You can use one or the other. You can use both if you want to. I have both, but you don't require to have both, just one or the other. Let me show you how I cut with the ruler. Remember, this is 3.5. I'm gonna match the line where it says 3.5 right here. I'm gonna match with the bottom of my board, of my fabric right there. My fabric 3.5, and I'm gonna make my first cut. Then I'm gonna go ahead, rotate the whole thing. I'm gonna lift this ruler because it's gonna fall off my table. I'm a little bit having problem. You know, I have broke my foot, so things are not as easy. I can't just easily get up and cut it. I have to rotate things for myself. Let me move this little group of fabric so it's easier for me to see it. If I have to line my ruler again, notice it right there. I match it up, and did you see? I don't give up. Do not give up. You keep going. Even if you break your foot or you have a tough day, you're gonna get up and keep going, and you're gonna work on your quilt and enjoy a little bit of quilting. Now I just finished this piece. I'm gonna place this back on. I'm gonna rotate again. Okay, so now I have this set. Look at all the pieces that I needed for one block, and I'm gonna keep going, smooth my pieces. And what you can do is you can grab your little fabric markers and just clip them so that way you have one block all together. Also, your fabric markers are really nice if you want to mark your fabrics, which strips you cut it if you're cutting more than one thing at a time. But right there, I like to clip my blocks because then I know I have everything all together. Look, I'm gonna match it up and cut it. And the same way if I would be to cut with my template. And today for block number 3, we're using template B, and we're gonna place that template on our strips, smooth everything really nice so it lays nice and flat, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Look at this. Oh, this is great. Now I have another block. So I have another block and another block. All those cute blocks gonna be waiting for me to work on them. As soon as you finish cutting, so you will have to cut 16 times, because you need 16 blocks if you have those 4 fabrics layer one on the top of the other. Make sure you go to our website at www.laundrybasketquilts.com. On my blog, I give you the exact cutting list. So if you forget something because you're excited about watching me right now, make sure you go so that way you don't miss anything. We're gonna keep the template and our ruler close because now it's time to sew. Let's lay out our cute little block. We have a light, we have 2 blues like this, and we have the top that it's nice and dark blue. This is going to be our block today, that we got the pieces that we need for our block. We're gonna start by taking the light and the dark and placing right sides together. Go ahead and do that, and you're gonna go ahead and sew. Zoom, 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 sew straight down. As soon as you finish sewing, I'm gonna show you, as soon as you finish sewing, you're gonna go ahead and open the seam in the back. You're gonna place your piece back down, and you're gonna go ahead and take your first triangle, place it right sides together, and you're gonna say, hold on one second, how do I match this up? You're gonna come with this point close to the edge, and if you wanted to, you can use your template. And your cute little, where's my, oh, perfect, my little fabric marker. Let me get a nice long glue end to it, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark. Now I know that I have to sew straight down, and this point right here, look at this, should be meeting with the seam down here. Do you see this? If you need to, you go ahead, just like me, put a pin in it so that way you know exactly where you're sewing, and you're gonna put another pin right here on the end so nothing moves and nothing stretch, and you're gonna start sewing gently from here straight down. And you can sew point to point. I sew all the way. It doesn't make much difference in end results. I tried both ways. I sewed all the way because I wanted my edges to be nice and secure. Once I finish sewing this side, I'm gonna go ahead, notice it, let me open this up so you see it. I finished sewing. This time I'm gonna go ahead and push my seam allowance towards the blue. Look at how sometimes I'm opening my seams and sometimes I'm pushing towards one side. Please follow those. I have checked the blocks. In fact, during my piecing, I made one little adjustment because I want your transitions to be really nice and I want you guys to have a really good result. So push towards the dark, but also it's your quilt. If you want to go ahead and open this seam, you can do that too. It's okay. You can go ahead and open that seam. I pushed it one way because that way it was easy for me to go ahead, take this piece, match it up, just like this, match it up. Make sure you mark your pieces with the dots. Notice it. Let me show. Oh, and you want to know if I have a ruler, how I mark it. Got it. Let me show you. Right there on the top of the ruler, there is a little hole. You're going to mark it right here. Then you're going to move this up Let me move this over so you see it exactly. Notice it, what I'm doing. I'm taking my ruler, okay? My ruler. This is a 1/4 inch seam allowance right there, and there is a hole right there on my corner, so I'm gonna mark it with that one, and it gives me a perfect markings for sewing. So now I can go ahead, place my piece right over, and check this out. This right here, this little dot, I'm gonna flip this over so you see it exactly, should match with my seam, and it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pin it in place. Don't want to move it. I want to pin it in place, and now go ahead, and you're gonna see this one should be hitting this fabric right there, and it is perfect. I'm gonna put a pin right in it, so that way when I go ahead and I start sewing from the top straight down, when it comes to here, I'm gonna get a really good 1/4 inch seam allowance. Notice it, nice 1/4 inch seam allowance. Finish, zoom, 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 finish sewing, press it open, and I just finished another point, another block for our mystery quilt. This is block number 3. You will make 16 of them. 16 of them. Super fun and simple. And I can tell you, when you make one of those, it makes beautiful star blocks. So please, please work on it, enjoy it, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow for block number 4 in our Mystery Quilt 2022. I am so excited. Happy quilting!